the recording has started. Let us most important thing, hold on. Got to get the call started just right. That is tasty. Welcome to the Wing It call. Today is March 4th, 2016. All opinions are just rumors today. We're not responsible for, let me back up. We're not attorneys. We're not accountants. We're not financial advisors. We're going to go through a learning curve just like you will. We're going to lose money. We're going to try to gain it back. We're not responsible for anything that you might do that might cause you loss of funds, because we're going to be doing our own stupid stuff ourselves. Of course, with a financial advisor's help, and you know how the market goes. How's that disclaimer, webmaster? Also, oh my goodness. Okay. We have an email address, thewingitcall@gmail.com. That's thewingitcall@gmail.com. We have a website where you can get information at thewingitcall.com. And all it's going to provide you is with the times, the latest link for the day, and replay links. And down at the bottom of the page, it says to contact us. You go to thewingitcall@gmail.com. And, of course, we have Twitter. Oh, yeah. I'd like to talk about Twitter for a second. My apologies to the people in California. It's just one of the things that I do on a call day, and I try to remember to go later on in the day, but it's just part of my routine. And I send out all information early in the morning. My apologies for waking you up. I'm sorry. What else? I think that covers it. Today, everybody should be jumping out of their bib overalls, because we are there. I know we've heard that many times. You know what? We're just going to go straight to Iko and let him do the good stuff for the day. Iko, you're unmuted.
Afternoon, everybody.
Hi, Iko.
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
Okay. I was telling Jerry that we take care of my 96-year-old mother-in-law here, and I went upstairs last night and tried on a pair of her Depends just to make sure I had something, just in case.
How'd they fit?
So, actually they fit, and I was very proud of myself. They were small and medium, so I still have my girlish figure after all these years.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I guess what I'll do is, since it's been all over the place this morning and this afternoon, is just confirm that everything I am hearing, every Intel call I'm privy to, every Intel person that allows me to speak to them, everybody is saying sometime this afternoon. The range started at noon, and it's going out to 9 o'clock tonight. These are all Eastern Standard Times. But they're saying everything's done again. All the excuses that held it up over the past few days are fixed. The PTB is not in the way. If anything, they're trying to push this through, because my guess is they figured out how to make money on it now, so they want it to happen. the rallies in the markets. Oil's up to 36. The Dow is up. Europe is up. Asia is up. The ships are all over Iran and Iraq. I mean, they are docked.
Whoa!
What?
Back up there a minute, Skippy.
Okay.
You kind of breezed past that one real quick. What are you trying to say that they're shipping oil over there like there's no issues at all, like they don't have like God didn't give good common sense, and the tugboats are going crazy, and all those people are losing sleep because they're shipping oil like nobody's got good sense?
Actually, they're shipping oil using very good sense.
Okay.
You can't turn on a nationwide plumbing system that used to transport millions of gallons of millions of barrels of oil a day. You can't just walk up and turn it on like you're going up to the side of your house and turning on the spigot. But they are bringing on all of the ports slowly but surely. And what I've noticed over the past few weeks is, if you look at an aerial shot of a port, you'll see, dock A, dock B, dock C, and maybe there's 8 stations to hook up super tankers to. And they started with station A, and then they brought on station B. Now they got station C online. By my count, through satellite imaging, Iran can handle 18 super tankers a day, or let's say, that's the number of slots they got to dock these huge ships. And this morning when I checked around 11 o'clock, they were using 6 of them. But more important is there's container ships now all over the place, getting loaded and unloaded. You can see this through the satellite imagery, both in Iran and Iraq. Same thing with tankers in Iraq. There's now a mooring field outside of Iraq where there never was one before. The mooring field outside of Jam Petrochemical, which is the great big super port that the Iranians have, that field's got a good 40 ships in it. And the line of traffic goes all the way from the bottom of the Arabian Sea right up to Kuwait and Iran. So they're open for business. That's the bottom line. Now, I don't know who's paying the bills. That I can't decipher. I can't find out. But somebody's loading ships and sending ships everywhere. And I did see a tanker leaving for New York from Iran yesterday. That was its destination. When you click on the tankers, you can see where they're going, how much they're loaded, et cetera, et cetera. This one was going to New York City, Port Newark. So that's pretty interesting. By the same token, there's nothing leaving the Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim is still a parking lot full of cargo ships. A few tankers, but mostly, which is of course what the Rim is noted for, is manufacturing. So they're still sitting there. China isn't shipping to the U.S. much at the moment. That you want to call it a blockade, you want to call it a slowdown, whatever you want to call it, that seems to still be in effect, based on the transportation picture only. God only knows what's going on in the back rooms. But that's a nice physical verification that things are happening. I personally haven't heard anybody say it's not going to happen this afternoon. Oh, I take that back. I did hear one person identified as a Looney Tune. So that's I'll just put that out there. Everybody coming from all different points of the compass, whether you're a market guy, whether you're a Nasara guy, whether you're an Iraq intel guy, no matter how you look at this thing, what prism you use, what lens you use, everybody's saying today is our day, that it's done. I think one of the things that's safe to share is ever since Sunday, they've tried to do it, and they've run into what I would call gremlins in the system. It's not that the powers that be were trying to stop it. It's not that the bad guys are trying to stop it or anything like that, but the banks are so far behind the 8 ball right now in getting this thing going that they're scrambling. And they're saying they're bumping into things that they forgot to take care of. They're bumping into things in other countries where the training wasn't really up to snuff. And remember, this thing's got to go completely around the globe. 208 countries have to all ping positive and let this thing go through their system. The first one that was successful, which was last Saturday night at 12:02, went around the globe in 53 seconds. And then they tried it again, and something got in the way, and then something else got in the way. But we're hearing the banks are under sequester. We're getting that direct from people inside the banks, not hearsay, not 3 or 4 levels down. We're getting that direct from people sitting there at their exchange desk saying, "Where are my customers?" Nobody's sent me any customers yet. We're all set to go here at the exchange center, but nobody's been sent in. Reason being, they haven't sent out the notifications. And there's still a little confusion as to how that's going to happen, what form it's going to happen in. But I will tell you this. You need to, when you call that, let's say if it's an 800 number, when you call that 800 number and they say, "Can you come in now?" the only word in your vocabulary is yes. That's it. You get down there as quick as you can, make your deal, and then sit back and let the dust settle. The other piece of information I think is pretty general at this point that I'll just reinforce is the groups, meaning the admirals and the super group at Wells Fargo and the internet group, who is all of us on this call. We are going in first. The rates are incredible. The banks are there to serve us. They want us to be happy. Remember, every dollar they exchange goes right to their asset bottom line. It makes them look good. So it's not even in their interest to try to cheat us out of money. It's in their interest to do the proper due diligence, make sure you're qualified to handle the funds that you're asking for, and get that money in their bank because, of course, they're exchanging our dollars for a lot more down the road. It makes them look good. So taking care of us is actually something they want to do. They don't want to screw us. So don't be afraid. Don't be nervous. Somebody said to me earlier this morning, a bank person said, what we're worried about is that our exchangers are going to be more confused than the exchangees because we've had time to decipher all this and digest it and process it. They have not. They're going to be hit with numbers, even though they've been told, it's different from somebody telling you to somebody sitting across the desk from you saying, well, here's my 100 million dinar and my 200 million dong, and by the way, I've got 400 $1 trillion notes from Zimbabwe. I'm exaggerating, but I'm trying to make a point. These people are going to be just as nervous as you are, if not more. They're going to be just as surprised as you are, if not more. So just breathe. That's the key. Just breathe and listen to what they have to say and, leave the bank wealthy. I think that's my opening statement. Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is when you walk in the door, you throw your hands in the air and holler, "Jerry Maguire, show me the money."
No, don't do that.
Okay.
No, you do not want to alarm them in any way, shape, or form. You want to be the calm one. You want to because we are in the driver's seat, guys. I probably said this a dozen times, but you're not going into the bank to beg them for a loan or worry about whether your credit rating's enough to get that extra 0.5% interest or any of that. You're going in there as not just a preferred customer, a to die for customer. And you've probably heard this before, but it's real. They don't want to let you out of that bank until they have every single cent of your currency. So that means don't jump at the first offer. Even ask for if again, this goes to what Yusef was talking about, but if you want to go for the maximum amount of currency exchange, ask for what feels to you as an outrageous request. And you may be very surprised that it's not so outrageous. We're not going to know the rates until we're sitting there in front of the screens. But it is being reported all over the place that the rates are on the screens. The rates are released. The codes are sitting there. The codes are not released because they can't be released until the actual announcement. But everything is set up to go. It could be a very, very simple exchange for you, especially if you're not going to sign an NDA. You're going to sit down. They're going to tell you what they can offer you. You take it. You get a deposit slip. You go home and, either cry hysterically or laugh hysterically or however your particular psyche lets go at that level of stress.
And no wearing.
You're not drinking
and no
dry.
Wearing,
and what?
And no wearing your Depends on the outside of your clothes. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
Do a double check
inside.
before you go in. Make sure everything adjusted is right, and all the appropriate clothes are on the outside, and the others are on the inside. Correct.
And guys, your button-down 501 jeans will not fit over the Depends. So, wear at your own risk.
All right. You know what, Holder? If you'll just mute your phone, I'll leave you unmuted on my end, and we're going to bring in the Art Meister, who is unmuted.
The Art Meister? Who's he? Never heard of him.
How you doing,
Well,
Art?
I think Eiko summed everything up pretty darn good, I'll tell you. I'm just looking at the WSOMN chat room stuff from there, and almost says the same exact thing anytime this afternoon from just updated reset for 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, and a couple of them say that. One says noon Saturday. We don't want to wait that long, do we? I don't think so.
No.
You'd have to wear your Depends overnight and right on into tomorrow if we got to wait till then, so I don't want to do that.
And for some people, it might be appropriate, because I know I probably would, because I'm liable to get pretty excited, at nighttime if I could sleep, and I don't want to have an accident.
No, that's pretty much what they're saying in the chat room. Same thing. Anytime up through 5 Eastern this afternoon. I think earlier Yosef said he thought it might be a little bit later just because of the sunrise in China deal. But everybody's saying more or less the same thing, that everything's taken care of. The banks are all now taken care of. They're in alignment. The rates are shown, just like Eiko just said. And like he said, they asked for the high rate, some astronomical rate. All they can do is turn you down, Just like when you're selling something, you sell it for high. They can negotiate you down, but once you accept something, it's accepted. So, and those rates you'll have to determine, and they ask to see the screens at the bank, see what's on the screens. We understand some pretty high rates are showing. We don't know exactly what they are, but we've been kind of given a hint that the dinar is really high, and the dong is high, and they're all high. And so till we get there and we see the screens, we don't know exactly. But I intend to ask for the highest rates I can get. I mean, that's if you got any Zim, all I can say, if you got any Zim, holy mackerel. I think we're talking with a B, like B for billionaire. If you got any amount of it at all, basically, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at, I guess, with what they're saying. So everything's just sounding good, sounding the best it's ever sounded, and I can't really add any more than that because I think Eiko put it all in perspective and said most everything, and everybody else in our Intel team did too, as you know. And I'd say we're there, supposedly. We said that so many times now that it's got to happen one of these times, and I think today is that time.
You know, Art, I'm going to get a T-shirt made up with a bunch of things that I'm never going to say again on a T-shirt and put a little check mark beside it. Never again. Never again. Just, hey, I sent you a text. Would you look at that and give me a yes or no, please?
You sent me a text? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Hold on a minute. Let me go there, try I can read it. I would say so.
Okay.
Don't know why not.
Well, you know, I'm going to ask first before I say anything.
I'd say so.
Okay.
Anyway, that's all I got. Just sounding awful good. About 35 minutes from now, I'll be jumping off. We got to leave and go eat early today. And
absolutely. Thank you for everything, Art. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right. I'm on the side and muted.
Thank you, sir. Well, I'd like to say that we are pretty close because I won't say where, just some exchange centers, the whole group of people, that they were just a little dissatisfied with the non-activity, but also because we're so close, they have drank the Kool-Aid like the rest of us and bought into this scam and up and quit. Makes you go, wonder why they would do something like that. I'm looking for, there they are right there. Oceanside, California. Pastor, come on down.
Hey, it's so good to be with you again, Jerry. You are the man. Your intel sources are the best, and appreciate your call. Appreciate Art Meister and Iko, the rock star. And I've been hearing the very same things. Of course, a rumor tell all over. We know it's all based on rumors and hearsay, and none of this stuff is confirmed. It's gone around all the boards, and different people have said it. But so, because I had a report that you had called it a few days ago, and I was on the call with you, and you hadn't called it, but you just shared some of your intel. So I want everybody to know that, you know, that we don't call it. We're not going to call it, but we're telling you what we're hearing, and we have good intel sources. So what we're hearing is that last night in the afternoon they had it set, and there was a bunch of banks that weren't ready. They weren't prepared, and a lot of Tier 2 banks said, well, we never believed you were really going to do it. How can you do this? You know, because they had given them notice, and we need more time. And so they gave them to midnight last night, and by 3 a.m., all those banks were prepared, even a couple of Tier 1s I heard, and they were all prepared and reset all their settings. So we think, and we've heard reports confirming each other, that the rates are there, they're locked in, that they even have the codes, but it's not accessible at this point in time. They have not yet been released to exchange people, but that's coming, you know, this afternoon to evening time from what every source says. There were about approximately 600 people that quit that were in the exchange centers, and they got whether it was exactly as Jerry said, whether it was aggravation because now they realized that it was true, and so they they're mad and they quit, or whether they bought currencies and realize now that I can't continue at my job. Either way, there were many people. I heard that one center actually, almost all of them quit on the spot. So they're doing a little restaffing, I'm sure, and they are all prepared, supposed to be, according to what people are saying. And by the way, Ray Wren had a great call this morning. I wasn't on it, but I read the transcripts, and he gave out some great information, which agreed with everything you've heard here on this call, that it's supposed to, there's codes. They haven't used them yet. They're going to release them. They're going to release it shortly, hopefully, according to all the information, and hopefully we'll get a go on this. But again, it's all in respect to the information we heard, and the fact that they're going to have to follow through on what they've allowed to get out. don't make a mistake. There are smarter people than all of us that are in charge of this, and they have kept us guessing the whole time by releasing, rumors that were wrong or rumors that were right. And so all of this information out there in Denarland is all based on, hearsay, and you can't vet it to the extreme source. So remember that and take it as something that encourages you, something that builds you up, something that keeps you coming back, and be prepared. And this is my personal what I'm going to do. So maybe you'll do this. I'm going to, as soon as I can, Jerry, I'm going to go, as you said, and as Iko said, and I'm going to get to the Exchange Center. I'm going to make an appointment. I'm going to get there. I'm not going to wait around because I've been told that down the road that, they're going to basically, there's a time when they're going to put everything back at the.
Uh-oh.
Nobody needs to worry. Nobody needs to be freaked out. But if you wait let's say a few weeks or a month, you might miss that window. So God forbid that anybody would miss that window where there's going to be the highest prices and you might want to wait if you've only got a little, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to wait, Jerry. I'm just going to go do my appointment. I've been waiting for, close to 11 years or 11 years. I still can't figure. And I'm going to just exchange, and I'm going to take what I've gotten and I've received as a wealth transfer. And I honestly believe this is a wealth transfer for humanity, and that we're called by God, or whoever you think God is. I believe in what I believe God, and He wants us to help people. He wants us to distribute this. He wants us to be a blessing. And we've talked to many people who have shared with us this is the reason behind all this. This is all about helping humanity, being a blessing. Now, I've personally already been doing that. Jerry does that, and so does several other people, such as Iko. He's got his thing. So everybody gather together, and after this is over, help people, bless people, care for people, and do your best with what you're given. Because in my view, this is a wealth transfer, like when they came out of Israel and they took all the riches of Egypt with them. I honestly believe the wealth of the sinners laid up for the just, and the meeker to inherit the earth, and that we're to walk in love, we're to express gratitude on a constant basis, and be sweet. I've got to say, I love everybody, and everybody loves me. Just going to get along and help people out. So I've got many things that I've planned to do, and I know that I've heard so many great plans and schools and Belize for the children and all kinds of other activities that I've heard are going to go along with many things here in the country. And if you are in line for bonds or humanitarian prosperity packages or something, you've already got your plans. So be ready, guys. We're on, and I hope and believe that it's going to happen. So today's our day, I hope, and be ready. There you go, Jerry.
Thank you. If you'll
By
just
the way,
mute on. Yes.
Special caller's going to be coming on later and doing a drive-by.
Yes.
All right.
So if you'll just mute your phone on your end, then I won't have to unmute you if you need to make a comment. So in a nutshell, what you're trying to say is they want to get us in the chute like a bunch of cattle, but not treat us like cattle. But when you go to the appointment, don't act like cattle.
Yeah,
they want to get us in and get us. They want to get us in, get us out.
Mhm.
What's that old quote? Patience, grasshopper. Patience. And there's at times like that I want to say patience my ass, but there's times when you must give patience. Anyway, if you want to ask questions, raise your hand. Otherwise, this could be a really short call. What do they say? Just the facts. Joe Friday. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. I forgot. There's one person right here. Philip, I'm going to unmute you. If you could just give us a kind of a summary of everything you know, and then we're going to start taking callers. Philip?
Absolutely. And once again, thank you. Shiny thing in the room. Okay, folks, from what we see right now, we are seeing what is called the ramping up of the trickle-down start. Now, what does that mean? Well, the exchange centers have lost a bunch of people that were supposed to be called employees. Well, now they've brought in another 600-plus people across the nation and are trying to do quick train. And at the same time, they're going to, when this goes, they're going to be calling the wealth manager client relationships first. And the reason for that is they want to ramp this up slowly and get these people kind of used to making leverages and hegemonies with you guys. Okay, so then it'll start trickling down to where they can start doing it faster and faster in hopes of getting the United States finished in a matter of days. Having said that, I don't know what I just said, but anyways, I want to move to transparency. So with that, I'm going to say right now that millions of gold owners this week are going to be informed of their losses from places that they own gold paper. Their holding accounts are not expected to be recovered. The company Gold AE and Dubai reports that all client accounts have been cleaned out. The company is now closed. Thousands of people also in the Middle East will be indicted on various charges for earning commissions on stolen gold accounts and on bogus accounts, and for their parts played in multiple country gold scam. This is something that is going to throw out a huge transparency with Turkey, Iran, and Dubai, who was caught in a major billion-dollar gold smuggling consortium with the richest man in Dubai's son. Having said that,
do you think it's going to have a direct bearing on what's going on right now?
Oh, absolutely. People are going to be ready to actually go in and put ropes around their wealth managers and their well, if you want to call, I wouldn't want to be in this position, sir. Anyways, Bernanke said today gold is not money. So when he was asked, then why are you stockpiling it? Well, with the idiot's galore answer, he said, because it's a tradition. All right, so having said that.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so having said that, Canada has sold its very last ounce of gold. Canada does not own any gold as of today. They sold their last ounce. Apparently, the politicians of Canada have boonswaggled or have been fooled by the rest of the world. And when Canada's citizens find out what they just went through, I'm sure that you're going to see flagpoles full of politicians there too. So having said that, let's move on. BlackRock today, the world's biggest cabal consortium, so to speak, the holder of most of China's gold, the holder of most of the world's gold in trade platforms, has suspended all ETF gold trading until further notice.
Cool.
That's huge.
Hey, Philip.
Yep. Yeah.
Can you hold on for just a second, and we'll catch the second half of yours? We want to take a couple callers, and then it'll give us a little more idea, and we can catch the second half of your what you're talking about there. Just a little break.
All right, I'm gonna mute out.
Okay. So we're going to go up here. Northridge, California. Web caller B. Come on down.
Yes, with what Philip's talking about, is that going to have an impact on being able to stop this again?
I don't think so. I think it's just part of the process. But anybody, here's my opinion: if you are foolish enough to buy into paper gold and haven't been watching the market, what's going on, that's not good for you.
Yeah, I understand that part. I'm just asking, are they going to try to use this as an excuse so that they can stall it longer?
That would be the $64,000 question. I don't think so. I think it's just a little more house cleaning, but we won't really know until years down the road, because right now they don't want us to know exactly what's going on.
Right. So we should know by tonight if this is going to go through or not?
We should. Ray mentioned on his call, and he's got some pretty good sources that he thinks it's going to be going down here pretty soon.
Cool. I just want to say thank you. Your calls are very informative. You guys carry a lot of information, and you help a lot of people, and it's greatly appreciated. Thank you much. I'll go ahead and let myself out.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the comment. Here we go. Miracle Queen, is that you, girlfriend?
Hi, sweetie.
What are you doing?
How are you?
I thought that was you right there. How can I help you today?
Okay, I have a question. If we don't have any rates, how are we gonna know what's on the screen and how to compare?
Well, I'm going to put a question out there to the Intel people. Maybe you can bring in a rate. I mean, I have an idea of what we've heard before. We've heard that the dinar could go at somewhere between 6 and 8 for international or market rate. And the Zim could be at least a quarter, or start at a quarter and go up from there. The same rates that you've heard before, Miracle Queen.
Now, I have never heard Indonesian rupiah.
Last that I heard, and I hold some of that, was like a $1.08, and I've heard up to like $1.88, so somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. Now, we're talking about any time this evening. Do you know when will we get the 800 numbers?
If Miracle Queen, if I did, I would sell that information and become a millionaire in about 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. So we know that all we know is that we may be going to the bank between 5:30 and 9:30 tonight.
Well, there is that rumor, because right now everything is rumor, and the only thing that is for sure in life is death and taxes, sweetie.
Okay. All right, sweetie. Get a blue moon, darling.
I'm already halfway gone with my first one.
Okay, well, I'm excited, and I hope this happens this time, and that we're able to go to the bank.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
And you'll be able to get certified checks, won't you?
I think you should.
Okay. All right, I'm done with my questions. Anything you wanted to... All right, thank you. God bless. Have a good evening.
You too, Miracle Queen.
Okay, bye-bye.
Fresno, California. Web call. Come on down.
How's it going, Jerry?
Good. How are you doing today?
Hey, listen, I saw this man in the Walmart. You know how they take pictures all the time? And he has some Depends on the outside of his jeans.
No.
So I ran up to him. I said, "Do you have the 800 number?"
Did you take a picture? Did you take a picture?
I
You can send it to the WINGIT call. I mean,
okay.
to the WINGIT email, and I'll figure out some way to get it out.
Okay, but he did. He was trying them on, and I thought, there's the 800 number right there. I know it. So anyway, my question is to you, Pastor. We're in California. Will we get it by 9 o'clock our time, you think? And it's going to be on your Twitter, I hope.
As soon as I find out, like anything else, as soon as it's verified, you will get the code word on Twitter in big letters.
Okay, and so then we call the 800 number. California won't be into their banks until probably Saturday, right? Is that Pastor or Iko?
Iko, can you help me out? Somebody help me out here.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. What was the question?
Drinking that moon.
Oh. You know, I looked for a blue moon the other night when I went for pizza and couldn't find it. First time I went looking for beer in probably 40 years, looking for a beer. Couldn't find it. Got to say that.
Well, I was asking Jerry, will California, as far as, since we're going to be getting our time later, will we be be able to be in the banks by Saturday or not?
You know what?
And is there 24-hour exchanges? I mean, what's their hours?
Nobody seems to know at the moment. I will say that the Chase person I know was told 7 a.m. to 11. However, they were also told because they're behind, they expected to be exchanging, is my information.
Okay.
So, and I guess I can say this, China expected us to be done today.
Oh.
For their own reasons. Okay?
Oh.
So we're not done. We're not, in fact, we haven't started. So it may be round the clock. That's conjecture. That's pure conjecture on my part. They might go round the clock. I got a feeling they're definitely going to go Saturday and Sunday. If we get word this afternoon, I would almost bet the farm that they're going to be open on Sundays as well as Saturdays.
And this is also California too, you're saying?
Yeah, and I'm hearing don't panic if it takes you a day to get in.
Okay.
Panic if it takes you a week to get in, but a day you're okay.
Okay.
You know, they know they've screwed up. They know that.
Okay.
They're trying to figure out ways to fix it. But we're good to go.
I say rip the Band-Aid off and just let her bleed. It'll heal over.
Oh. Well,
yeah,
you guys are like shepherds. You know, you've been guiding us in through our ports, and we're ready to share our wealth with that God's given us into for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last night I was thinking about when God was feeding the multitude with just the fish and the bread, and we're going to be the same way, but there's not going to be no qualifications. There's not going to be no conditions. Only because you're a child of God is the reason why we're going to be doing what we're doing.
Yes, and on the East Coast, we're getting lobster.
Okay. Well, I sure appreciate you guys, and we're looking forward to being in the bank. Hey, thanks, Jerry. You're the bomb, man.
Blue moon.
Hey Jerry. I think we can't repeat it enough that we're all okay in this venture. The rates are there. The bank's cooperation is there. The whole world wants this to happen, and even the bad guys want it to happen now. That's the latest information that we're getting. They've kind of reconciled themselves to, they can't put this off any longer. I'm sure they've got their little schemes to make money off of it, but we're going to get them on that eventually too. But just we really are. We are in such a good place. So just that it is hard to believe. It is.
Are you trying to say
tough
that?
To understand.
Are you trying to say that the PTBs? How can I say this politically? Oh hell, they got their tit in the ringer, and they got their tit in the ringer, and they better do something before it gets really in bad shape.
Yes, they've been convinced that cooperation is the primary directive by a multitude of agencies and countries, and we all know the first one starts with a C. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let us just mute your phone on your end, and we'll take another caller here. Cement, Oklahoma. Come on down.
Yes, this is Linda.
How you doing?
I still want to know, do you think it's going to be safe for us to use the trust that our banks give, or do we need to go outside the bank and do our trust?
Now, I want to be very calm and very honest as I can be. I don't know, and we're not financial advisors. I would love to give you an answer, but if I was wrong and you took it that way, I don't want you hollering at Jerry Maguire.
Now, Jerry, you're supposed to know it all.
But well, let me say this.
I'm just messing with you.
Hold on. I can answer that question.
Oh, okay.
I know a little bit. I know a whole lot more than what I did when I started in this. But I realized that every day that goes by, the more I know less.
That's right.
It scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, it does. We're all there.
You got your bib overalls on?
Not yet. But
You got a blue moon?
I don't drink.
Okay.
If I did, I would have one.
Okay.
I might go get one. No.
There you go. But don't rush in the bank with your arms in the air hollering, "Show me the money," because.
No, I'm taking my sons with me, and they'll be doing the. And you know the bad part about all this, my oldest son has been in Iraq and he has it in his possession, but I cannot talk to him about it because he just, until it does happen, they don't. If I hadn't been doing all the legwork, they wouldn't know what to do. I have one that works for a railroad and one works for a big oil company, and neither one will talk to me about it. And, Mama, just show me the money. But when it does come down, they'll be there.
Oh, no. When this comes down, all you need to look at them with that mama eye, and all you got to say is grovel.
Because I am not going to take care of this. They are. Both of them is educated enough that they'll do wonders with it. They're both very reliable, and they will do wonders with it. But Mother will just enjoy it.
They ain't that educated because they don't believe you.
No, I'm more educated in it right now than they are, aren't I?
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. This is the craziest ride I've ever in my life. And I have worked for the government. I've worked in lots and lots. I've worked for OSU. I've worked in many jobs. And this is the craziest ride I've ever been on.
Well, world wars have started and ended quicker than this. But this is about power and money. They don't want to give up that power, which makes them money. No. Wouldn't you be kicking and screaming if somebody tried to take away your moneymaker?
Well, I was way late the other night and watching the news, and our government's fixing to unravel. I don't know exactly how to put that, but I feel like that things are fixing to unravel in this country for the better.
Yes, ma'am. I without really saying a lot, I'm going to say I concur.
I really do. And it's time. And it's only been because of the Lord feeling sorry for his people of what we have went through. And we can't change it, but the Lord can. And they better step aside because it's him that's doing it. It's not us, the peons. It's the Lord that's doing this. And I don't know who I'm talking to on this call because I have no clue. But, you know.
It's just you and me. It's just you and me.
When the Lord steps in and says, when he parted the Red Seas, he parted it, and the people walked over on dry ground. This is not going to be any different than that. It's going to be the same scenario in a later date.
Well, what else can how else can I help you? You got one more question?
Nope, that's all I got. But I'm just so proud to be a part of this. I have no clue why the Lord loved me enough to be in this. I have no clue. I really don't. But I do know that my sister called me and said, the Lord told me to tell you, and there's about 4 of us girls that's involved in this, sisters. And every one of us said, we've got to do it without talking to the other one, and we know it's a God thing. I sat down in my big chair one day, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but I sit down in my big chair, and this has been about 4 years ago, and the Lord said, do you believe in your salvation? I said, yes, sir, I do. And I spoke out loud. I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, this is just as real as your salvation is real. Now, he can't speak no plainer than that, can he?
I'm not even, no, he can't.
He cannot speak no louder. And that's from that day to this day. I didn't know what day, what hour, or what minute, and we still don't. But it is going to happen, just like he says it is. And that's all I got for today, but I sure do. I tell you, I really appreciate this call.
Well, I hope that you're sitting on the couch like those couple up there in Kansas in their bib overalls, just rolling on the floor, laughing, having a good time.
I'm getting my camper ready to go to the lake.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, and I appreciate you. Bye.
Tallahassee, Florida. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry.
How you doing?
I'm all right. This is Appaloosa.
Who?
I have a question.
Who? Whoa.
Appaloosa.
Doesn't sound like her. Is this all right, go ahead.
It is. It's me. I'm asking about the sovereign groups and the prosperity packages. Have we heard any updates about whether or not any of those folks have, in fact, exchanged?
I can actually answer that one, and the question is no.
Well, okay then. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is going to be a really short call. Nobody has their hand raised. Fresno, California, 559. Come on down.
Thank you for taking my call. I want to say amen to all the positive stuff about you all. That other caller in Fresno about the man in the store, I'm still laughing over that. Some idiot next door has got his bike going. I'm sorry if it bothers you. But the information that Iko gave us is so profound. It's like the end of this long journey that we've all been on. And I just really appreciate the information and don't really have a question. It's just so profound. I'm just sitting here awestruck that we could be there this soon. And I have
just
all
remember,
my plans laid out to help other people, and I just want to thank you all for the information.
Bum rush the bank, but don't act like a bum.
No.
Okay.
Remember,
go ahead.
You got Phil on hold. Remember.
Oh yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, God bless
you
all. God bless you all, and you all take care. Bye.
Yep. Philip, are you there?
Mr. McGuire, are you there?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Give us the last half here, please.
Oh, well, I guess the last half is I just got in from a meeting, and somebody was talking about how their big corporation is going to receive clearance on their TRNs on Sunday night. Now, that's for export and import payment due from out of countries paying on the big shipping ships. And they're expecting TRNs on Sunday night. That's what they just said. So, having said that, that doesn't stop our currency exchange and the announcements going tonight, okay? That's something I want to make sure everyone understands. These are two different venues. So, if it's true, then congratulations, big corporation, you're finally going to get paid. And at the same time, if it's true that tonight these qualifiers that get us all into the banks, well, congratulations, there you are, you're done. So we've got high hopes on everything happen over the next few days, especially currencies. So that's, having said that, I didn't say that to say anything except for congratulations, folks. They can't stop this for very much longer. That's the bottom line, right? There's import ships out there waiting 20 miles offshore, and they all want to get paid, and they all want to drop off their deliveries and go fill up some more. All right, Jerry, you have a great call. This has been fun. I'm gonna mute out.
Thank you, sir. Conroe, Texas. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry. How you doing? Hello.
I'm there. I'm here. I'm looking at my beer bottle. It's down near the bottom. I might have to refill.
Well, you need a silver bullet. I need to get you on the silver bullet instead of the blue moon.
I don't think so.
Listen, I'd like to comment just 1 minute on the lady that called in a while ago regarding the trust. It's been brought to my attention that when you go in, banks are going to be real friendly to you, and they're going to be able to set you up with someone that can set up your trust. However, be cautious. You know what I do for a living, and if you wish to tell the audience, that's up to you. I'll leave that up to you. But my advice on this is after the exchange, yes, you go in, you lay out your plans. You want to get the highest rates possible for all humanitarian purposes, and you want to set up these trusts and foundations, et cetera, et cetera. Well, they're not going to be done that day. However, you're going to get a chance to walk out of that bank with a little cash, whatever, and get some cashier's checks. My advice is to call a law firm that deals in trust. And I'm talking about trust. You better have $5,000 to $10,000 when you walk in the door of that firm, because these trusts are not cheap, but they are worth their weight in gold. You walk in, you talk to that attorney, and you tell that attorney how you want that trust, what you want to do with it. He will be able to give you the mechanics on how that trust can be set up to do exactly what you want to do. I'm not personally convinced that any banking attorneys would be that honest with me on that trust. That's why I am personally going outside of there to a law firm. I think you know the law firm I'm going to go to also, because that's a place to call from, and get that set up. And that's my advice on the lady that had a question on the trust. Then there was someone on there that she said her sons one was in the military, and they're going to control the money. Be very careful. She is the one that needs to go into that law firm to set up that trust and to gather all of the information she can. Just be like a dry sponge thrown into a sink full of water. Just soak up all the information you can. Ask questions. It doesn't hurt to ask questions. My son, I've got a son and daughter, they're in their 30s now, late 30s and mid-30s. They're 4 years apart now. I'll give that lady that's on the phone an example a while ago. You may think your sons are intelligent, and you hope and pray to God they are, that they do better than we do. However, I've got a son and daughter that's 4 years apart. I had a college education fund set up for each of them. My son went one semester in college, dropped out, went in the Marines, went 2 tours in Iraq, and thank God he came back safe and all in one piece. However, when he came back, he said, Dad, I didn't use up all my college funds. Can I please have it? I said, no, you can't. I bought a red sports car that's sitting out in the driveway with the balance of it, paid cash. My daughter loved it and saw it, and she said, well, Dad, you got money for me for college? I said, yes, sweetheart, I do. And the same thing goes for you. She graduated. She didn't go into college. I told her, I said, well, that car's going to be 4 years old if you don't go to college, and I'm going to need a replacement. Sure enough, she didn't go. I traded it in, bought me another red sports car. Drove that around until I traded it in. Now I've got a country Cadillac. But anyway, be careful of your kids. Make sure they know what they're doing. You've got to sit them down, give them the education. Make sure they know how to make this money work for them. A college education ain't going to cut it. You've got to have somebody that will sit down and teach them, because this is something that they've never been through before. No one has been through this before unless you're born into one. So that's all I had to say on that. Just, I would certainly go to a law firm that does a lot of trust. And it's like it's been said on the different calls in the last couple of years, and here's the key, I believe. You want to be able to be in control of that trust even though you're not the trustee. That's the question you want to talk to that attorney about. And you'll be surprised at the answer. So, saying that, that's all I had to say. And if this is our last call, and I certainly hope it is, I've enjoyed everything, talking to everyone, even on the chat. And I wish everybody a very prosperous, godly life. And just remember one thing. Treat other people the way you want to be treated. Don't go into that banking center in a bikini, like one lady said. So,
thank you, sir.
Okay, well, take care. We'll talk to you later.
Bye. Sherman, Texas. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. The gentleman that was just talking about trust, is he still on the line?
Oh, you don't want to go there.
Well, maybe you can answer this question for me.
Sure.
Is it kosher for someone to interview attorneys who establish trust for a list or referrals of their clientele as a reference? And the reason I'm asking that is about, 8 or 9 months ago, I listened to a presentation from a lady with Northern Trust, and it was just, whistles and bells and twinkling lights and, ice cream cones. Everything was wonderful. And I was pretty much leaning that way until I found out that the cabal uses Northern Trust, that a great percentage of their clients are European. And that's too dirty of a trust for me. I would like a pristine trust of my own, and I don't want it being confused with those that are using it for illicit means. How do you determine that?
I can help you out with that later on after the call, if you don't mind.
Okay. No problem.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye. Criminals go to jail. Politicians go to Washington, D.C. I mean, the other criminals that don't get caught. 202, come on down.
Jerry, that's so not nice. So not nice. So not nice. Hey, I've had jury duty all day. Let me tell you about it.
Oh, about criminals? Well, hell, you're in the right spot. Go ahead.
I'm sorry that you're going to have to repeat yourself, but I've been trying to call in, and both lines have been, like, totally booked. Is there everybody seems to be excited. Is there any way you can repeat the good news to me so I can get excited too?
Well, hold on. Let me get the mouthpiece. Heiko?
Okay. Can you hear me?
I
Yes.
can hear you just fine.
Okay. So in a nutshell, everybody, and I mean everybody, pretty much feels this is going down sometime this afternoon. The spread was anywhere starting from noon Eastern Standard to 6 o'clock Pacific, anytime in between, but everybody is saying it's happening. All the banks are on board. All the rates are agreed to and set. All the codes are set. It's just a matter of how they're going to notify us. There seems to be various opinions. Some people say it's going to be emails. Some people would say it's going to be 800 numbers. But we are, anybody on this call is part of the Internet group, or maybe they're a member of Admirals, maybe they're a member of the Wells Fargo groups, but those groups are going to get notified today that it's a go. We need to be prepared to go in immediately. If you make the phone call, be prepared for them to say, come down now, okay? So make sure you got everything set up. You don't want to get bumped. You also don't have to panic. If they tell you to come in tomorrow or Sunday, that's fine. As long as you get in within a few days, you're okay. The rates are fantastic. All the banks have pledged that they are there to help, not hinder, not screw anybody around, get you the best rate for who you are. Okay? That's important. If you were on the last call, one of the things Yusef discussed was do you need $50 billion?
Not at all.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Yes, that's fine. That's fine. Like I know some people do. Some people do, but a lot of people don't. So it's all about your life and your future. Yes, it's about paying it forward, but it's also the best thing we can do is be comfortable in our new lives, our new roles on the planet, because we are going to be emissaries. There's no two ways about it. We're in this because we're expected to be the new age. I don't want to get too out there with that discussion, but that's a consideration. What else can I say practically? So go to the bank. Don't forget, they're going to be just as confused and surprised at some of these numbers as you are. You actually have had probably a couple of years to digest this information. They have not. The banks are concerned about how their exchangers are going to react as much as how the exchangees are going to react. So it's a co-invention here. Everybody, it's what's the word I'm looking for? I can't remember it. It's cooperation on both sides of the table. Don't forget that people may not seem, especially if you're in early, they may be a little confused and not sure of the procedures. You can help them with that. But once you've got that deposit slip, the next best thing you can do is just let the money sit in the bank and slow down and just watch what happens, especially in the first 30 days. The world's going to shift it's going to be an unbelievable shift. And there's going to be a lot of surprises. We're protected. We're covered. We're not in stocks. We're not in bonds. We're not in offshore investments. We're not oil speculators. We're nothing. We're just people sitting there with big fat bank accounts earning interest. So
yeah, we got
cash. Yes, just be that way for a while, and then start interviewing your professionals. Don't forget, you do this alone.
Go
You
go
need
ahead, ma'am.
professional help.
Hold on, Iko.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry.
Okay, so I have two questions. So my first question is,
Yeah.
I hate to say this, play devil's advocate, but how do we know for sure that this is the final, this is it? Like we're
We
at
don't.
the end all be all. We don't.
We don't. That's where faith comes in. But I will tell you this. Every single Intel provider I talk to is basically saying the same thing. They say it through their filter, right? They may use a little bit different words. They may use a tiny bit different timeline. They might have a different understanding of the rates. But I'm talking. It doesn't matter because they're all basically talking. They're all describing the same picture. Okay, and that picture is incredible.
Okay.
Do you have another? What's your next question there, ma'am?
Oh, and do you know if the bank still will be charging that 2% to transaction fee? Is that negotiable?
That's negotiable. Let's put it that
what
way.
What you're not going to be able to get out of is the UST.
Right.
That's non-negotiable. I mean, personally, I'd like to tell the UST to go float a boat, but they can tell me to do something else I may not want to do. Okay.
Okay. So the 1% fee is a must, but the banking fee is negotiable. And then the last question, I'm going to throw a number out there. Let's say I have $10 million in the bank, and I don't want to make a move probably for 3-4 months just to kind of digest all of it. That money is secure and insured, and it is making interest, correct?
Yes, but you basically ask three questions. So is it secure? Yes. Nobody's going to come in and take your money. Okay. If you sign an NDA, you make sure you keep your mouth shut. You can't say it any plainer. Shut up. Don't say anything. Don't tell anybody except your spouse, and they'll have to sign an NDA too.
Not unless
Well, that's true. That's true. Right. I'm sorry. I take it back. Yeah, I take that back. Okay. As far as interest goes, depending on how much you've got, you can also ask them about interest rates. You don't have to just accept what they say. They're probably gonna say to you, I'll give you this interest rate if you promise to leave 30% of your money, or I've actually heard 17% of your money with us for a year. If you pledge to do that, we'll give you this interest rate. If you want to leave more with us for more time, we'll give you an even better interest rate. Now let me just point this out. If you're being modest right now and using $10 million as an example because you don't want to admit to everybody on this phone call that you're getting $100 million, if you're getting $100 million, you're looking at interest rates anywhere from 8 to 10.25%. So if you can wear that, and you can ask for that, don't be you know what? Thanks. I'm glad you know what? I forgot a big huge thing here. Concerning the rates. All right. You've heard the rates quoted over the past few weeks.
Yes.
Okay. The rates are even better than they were a few weeks ago. And somebody told, without quoting exact rates that are being stated right now because we really don't know if they're legit or not, ask for a rate that seems totally outrageous to you. Like I'm afraid this person's going to think I'm living on the moon for asking for this rate. But you know what? Ask for it. And then stay quiet and see what they come back with as a counteroffer. That's going to tell you a lot about where things are at. Now you can ask for the screens and see what are the international rates. They'll be on the screens, and maybe the market rates will be on your screen, but the contract rates won't. So if you're going after a contract, you're gonna have to ask for the moon, and the key is you gotta have to expect it. and just see what they come back with. You may be very, very surprised.
Oh wow.
But again, I'll quote Yusef. Make sure you want that amount of money in your life. It may not be everything you think it is to have that kind of money. And if you haven't done it yet, just one more thing, just if you haven't sat down with a piece of paper and written down everything you want in your life and put a value on it, that's a great exercise, because you may find you only need $20 million, including the interest. You know, you're gonna buy $5 million worth of property or boats or cars or whatever the hell you want. Whatever you want to buy. And then the interest, simple interest, off of $15 million is more than you could ever think about living off of. And if you're covered with that, you know, factor that into how much money you want to manage, because the more money you have, the bigger your job is as a manager. Okay, now shut up. Yes, dear. Sorry.
Well, no.
Thank you, Iko.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. No, it wasn't that. A person sent in a question into the email. I'm a multitasker here. I can drink beer, chew bubble gum, ask you questions, check the email, and send a Twitter. Right. I got a big S on my chest that says Superman, not Superwoman. So here's the question. Jerry, can you ask Iko if he knows if the bank will be releasing funds to us right away? For example, if we have a house we want to buy and need to prove that we have funds in the bank to pay cash for it, will there be a hold put on our accounts, or will there be available immediately? That's the first part of the question.
Well, my best guess is no. I've heard they might, just like you put a great big check in the bank, they give you access to 10% of it that day, and then they tell you there's a 3-day hold on it. You know, you might be looking at a hold of a couple of 48 hours or 24 hours or something like that. Maybe because they just need to get it into their system that way. But if you put this money in the bank tomorrow, and so tomorrow's Saturday, right? And Sunday you call your realtor and say, I want that house. And they say, fine, make me an offer and give me a check. By Monday, I'm 95% sure that check's going to be good. And you can certainly ask the bank will tell you exactly, so you can plan accordingly. I'm actually a little worried about that too. I'm worried that one of the properties I'm looking at is suddenly going to have 3 appointments the following day. You know, I get your concern there, but there isn't going to be some week or 2-week hold on your money. That ain't going to happen. And quite frankly, for most of us doing this, even if it's 10% availability for 24 hours, that's going to be more than enough to
that's what I was
10% on the offer and all that. Yeah.
Here's the last section of the thing. Also, is it true that Homeland will freeze the accounts if the withdrawal is too big? And I'm talking about a cashier's check, not wiring money.
No.
Shouldn't be an issue there.
No. Homeland is looking for known criminals, people on the terrorist watch list. They're not looking for you and me. You know, even though they've done some stupid things, and I'll call them stupid, not even evil, but just it's just plain stupidity. It goes against common sense, some of the things they did, but we're fine. We're good people trying to do good things, trying to live our lives. And that's, even though you hear all these horror stories about Homeland, granted, if you're an individual and you're suddenly wiring $50 million to somebody in Pakistan, yeah, they're going to look at that.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
But if that's the kind of thing they're looking for. And quite frankly, that's a good reason for them to be around. Not for a lot of the other reasons they're around right now, but we do have to watch stuff like that. But no, we're not. Don't buy into all this paranoia. Really, just don't. You know, I mean, it's common sense. You gotta have a country full of people who are willing to work and cooperate and give to their communities and have families. Without that, the whole thing falls apart anyway. So what good is Homeland Security if there's nobody to protect? then we got a real big problem. So
okay.
All right.
Well, let me hit the next caller. Valera, Texas. Come on down. Valeria, Texas. 325. You're
okay,
unmuted.
325. Hello.
325.
Yes, Jerry. I have a couple of questions I need to ask, if that's okay. The first one is, when we go to the bank and get our cashier's checks to take to our hometown bank or another bank, do those cashier's checks need to be made out to us or to the bank?
Why don't you do an interbank wire transfer? Or, I mean, not an interbank, but a wire transfer from one bank to another. It's a lot quicker, a lot safer.
It is safer to do the wire?
Yeah, just take your account number and your routing number with you, and right there, and just say, I want to transfer this X amount to this bank.
Okay, we'd always been told that do not wire.
That's out of country. Out of country.
Oh, okay.
Out of country.
I got you. Okay.
Because if it's within the system, you're going to be okay.
All right. Alrighty. My second question is on the 800 numbers. We have gifted some money to some of our family that are not in groups. Are we allowed to give that 800 number out?
Sure. I don't see why not.
Okay. Great. Okay. Third question, and this is my last one. The reserves that Sterling had, and Dr. Clark got on there and said that after the RV that those would, portion of it or something, be good. Have you had any information on that?
Nope, and I'm not even going to speculate.
I hear you.
And I like your questions. You had 3 questions. You spit them out. You got an answer, and we're on to the next caller. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Houston, can you hear me now?
Chew the back, speed.
Yeah.
Hey, Jerry, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, Iko. Yeah, I want to ask you something, man.
Wait. Hold that. I think.
Yes, sir.
That is not it. I thought that. Hold on just a second. I'll be right back to you. Special caller, is that you? Hello, special caller. Hello. Nope, that is not you. Sorry. All right, Houston, can you hear me?
Yeah. Houston, we have a problem. No, I'm back.
There you go.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, you guys, now when we exchange, do we put our money in an interest-bearing account, or do we wait to put it in an interest-bearing account?
Not going to answer that one because there's too many variables. I hate to be so adamant about it, but that would be giving you like financial information, and that's going to have to be a person's choice. I'm sorry.
Okay. Because I was wondering, because he was saying that you can, Iko was just talking about interest-bearing accounts. And the second question I want to ask you, did they ride, or was it a peaceful ride in Iraq? Did you know if they had rides or what?
Haven't heard that one yet. And if there had been, I think Iko and especially Art would have said something about it. So I don't think there's any confirmations on that just yet.
Okay. And so everything seems like it's a go again today, since the bankers said 600 and some people walked off, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, okay. All right. That's what I want to know. And keep on drinking those blue moons.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right, have a good one.
I'm not sure where this person is. Carlos, 954. Come on down.
Miami, Jerry.
How you doing?
Quite well. I'm just listening to all the intel, but what's up with the depend?
That's the code word. Don't you know about that?
Oh, okay. I thought we actually had. I was thinking something else because I'm going commando. I'm gonna be hanging kind of low with all that.
That's okay. TMI.
Well, no, I'm just listening in, and but the fact that they gave there was a little bit of a I guess a window there between 12 noon and 6 Eastern. And are you guys gonna just send out a tweet just as soon as it happens, or what?
Yes, but I think I have your answer. Do you have any more questions? And I'm going to get it for you here in just a second.
Oh, no, I'm good with the questions.
Okay. Hold on, and I'm going to get you your answer, okay?
Sure.
You're going to laugh. Okay. Thank you, sir. Grand Prairie, Texas, 214. Come on down. Curtis? Grand Prairie, Texas, 214. Curtis.
Is that me?
Yes, sir. That's you.
It's actually Argyle, Texas. That threw me. How you doing,
that's okay. That's okay. The other caller had a question about the tweets. What's the code word for the tweets when this goes down?
Depends.
Say that again, please.
Depends.
Can you say that loud and proud?
Depends. Hello? Depends.
Depends is the code word. When this goes down, that is what I'm going to say. Depends. Yes, sir. Your question, please. Come on down.
Jay, I sent you a question because I couldn't figure out how to get on the phone, and I couldn't get on the phone. You may already have it there. My question was, one time Pam said, this is on the TNT, Pam said, the wealthy people do not use banks. And then after that, Tony said, the wealth managers that we want are not advertised. Now, we can either address this, you can call me later, or
send an email to the email there, the WINGIT call at Gmail. Okay, you did?
Yeah, I sent it where it says ask a question. I sent it all in there, and I sent my phone number with it.
Okay. I'll try to get back with you on that. You got any more questions?
No. Oh, yeah, I do. You live in Texas, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to shove a lot of money into ranch land for just projects for the ranching and farming communities up in North Texas, out West Texas. And I was looking for ideas from different people, if any other people had ideas to discuss. But I'm looking at 50,000 acres right now and looking for just suggestions.
We can address that later. Right now, let's see if I know what you're talking about. We'll talk.
See you. Bye.
Thanks. Philip, go ahead.
I got a question. Has anybody heard anything more about the what's it called, the sovereign indigenous people they were supposed to, according to the Republic, revert back to 1877 on our Constitution and also on our boundaries and borders. If there's any proof to that, that's all supposed to be wrapped up right along with this currency exchange. Has anyone heard anything about the changing of sovereign states or anything? I'm just curious.
Well, we'll take a few more questions, see if anybody has, okay?
Absolutely. Remember, Texas and Colorado and Utah and all that's supposed to be given back to the Indians, to Mexico.
Don't know. We'll find out here in a little bit. Thank you, sir.
Hope you know Spanish, Jerry.
I do not. I know enough to get me in serious trouble. I know cerveza, and we won't talk about the other one. Park Rapids, Minnesota. Come on down. Is it Minnesota? No. Maine? I don't know. Park Rapids. Well, there you go. He took himself out of play. Where did he go? Uh-oh. I think he completely hung up on himself. Well, Twin Cities, 651. Come on down.
Hi, Jerry. I've got a quick question for you.
Absolutely.
Does anybody on your group know whether the real will go with the dinars and other currencies?
Say that again.
Does anybody there know whether the Iranian real is in that first basket and will go with the dinars and the other currencies? I haven't heard anything.
It's supposed to. Iran has signed a treaty with Iraq that they would not go before them.
Okay.
And this is my personal opinion that if they did go before them, it would be a slap in the face to their neighboring bordering country, and it would not look good on any further negotiations. So they're being held off to join the world stage until Iraq goes first, since they've waited the longest.
Okay. Now, have you read the special instructions that go with installing the Depends?
No. Please give us a breakdown.
Okay, here's what you do. You take off all your clothes, you go into your safe, you break open a couple of packs of dinars, and you spread them all out over the bed. You jump into bed, roll on the dinars. If you happen to go to sleep, that's fine. Jump up and put your Depends on and go to the bank.
Absolutely. That's what you call covering your butt with money.
Okay. Thank you much.
You're welcome. Fresno, California. Web call. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, non-bearing accounts. Now, I know TNT, when you're with me at TNT, you guys talked about that with Martha. What is ICO's feeling and your feeling about those non-bearing interest accounts? I have the form. Do I need to worry about it? Should I worry about it? And I think I know what you're going to say. I can't give advice.
Exactly. So we're just going to nip that one in the bud and say that's going to be a personal decision, and I'm sorry, just to cover myself, okay?
Okay. All right, thanks.
Hey, Jared, I can say something that's pretty safe.
Okay.
If you do put it in a non-interest bearing account, first of all, you'll be able to ask the bank if there's an issue with it. If you don't like their answer, You can put it in a non-interest bearing account, which we know is safe. And then you can spend a few days asking people questions about it. And if it turns out it's okay, you can just go back in and open another account, because you're a rich guy and they're going to do whatever you tell them. So I think it's one of those things where we've built up a lot of concern to the point where now we have to be careful about giving advice. But there's probably a very simple answer out there once we're in the exchange meeting.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
As they always say on Family Feud, good answer. Good answer. All right. Well. Imperium, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Have not heard from you in a long time. Good to see you. Welcome.
Yeah, I couldn't make the last couple of calls of yours, just timing issues. But I've been staying up with the replays and so forth, and you're providing a wonderful platform here, Jerry. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's very nice. I don't have anything to add except continued enthusiasm. You know, it's like this drum roll's going on, and there's a part of me that's saying, okay, when is it going to start tapering? But it hasn't. It just seems to be continuing on here. And I'm excited. That's about it. I'm going to hang around here and as long as I can, Jer.
Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
Right.
Skype restricted caller. No name, no city. Come on down. You're unmuted. Skype. There you go.
Hello.
That's you.
Hi, Jerry. It's your caller from Newfoundland again.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm doing very well, Jerry. Thank you. I had a couple questions concerning being in Canada. Like I've heard you guys saying, like, you know, on the different shows that, you know, the money, there has been money transfers going into the U.S. as well as into Europe and those places, but I haven't heard anything about Canada. So where does that put us to when the actual RV happens?
You'll have to forgive me. I missed half of it. My dog was barking because my wonderful wife just came home.
Well, that's a pleasure.
It is.
What I was saying. Okay, as what I was saying is that, you know, there's been money transfers made to the United States as well as Europe and I think a couple other countries. I haven't heard anything about any monies being transferred to Canada. So my question was, once the RV happens, where does that leave us?
I don't think you're going to be left out in the cold for one reason. When the banker war with Iraq took place, I think that the U.S., Great Britain, and Canada were the first three to sign up to, you know, go pillage the country for their bank accounts. So I think you're going to be okay. Okay.
And my second question was, like, hearing today and reading as well that Canada has sold out all their gold. So where is that going to leave us? Does it mean that, you know, we're not going to be asset-backed at all?
That's your politicians. If that's true, why they would do that, I don't know, and I can't answer that. That's way, way up in the stratosphere above my pay grade. Okay. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I would love to answer it for you.
Hey, Jerry, I can take a stab at it.
Go ahead, Ike.
Okay.
The entire planet is going to go asset-backed eventually. And I don't mean like years from now. I mean over the next few months. So a lot of these questions I'm hearing I know where they're coming from. People have confused the issue, and granted, it's confusing at an international, country to country level. But for us folks, it's not confusing. They're going to, as soon as we are the reserve countries, and hopefully the U.S. are going to declare that they're asset backed. Okay, the reserve currency countries. It's thought that the U.S. might hold out for a little while because of just internal power struggles and all that, but they're not going to hold out long because when China goes asset backed, and Russia and India and the BRICS nations and Germany and Switzerland, they're all going to go immediately, and when they do, the dollar is literally going to be worthless. Literally worthless. Nobody's going to want to trade with the United States. And it's going to be one of those things which, how much pain can we take before we have to go asset back? But Canada has demonstrated a very level-headed approach to this whole currency revaluation in the GCR. So I don't think, again, my opinion, but I don't think you're going to have any problems. As we said on the last call, just get a hold of TD Bank and ask their opinion on things, because they do have it down. They know what's going on. They're prepared for this, and they're going to give you straight answers to all your questions. But you don't. Again, as I said earlier in the call, you really don't have to worry about all of this stuff. It's been planned for years, if not decades. It's all in place. That was part of the reason it took so long to get to where we were, or get to where we are. But we gotta do it a step at a time. So we have to RV, and then we can call our favorite bank and just ask them questions. We can call wealth advisors. We can call tax attorneys. We can call all those people and start to get the answers. And if it takes us a few weeks to get the answers, no panic, no problem.
Okay, I really appreciate that info, Lyko. And when I spoke to you the last time, you did mention maybe I could call my bank and see. And I actually did call a TD Bank, and a wealth manager returned my call. And
he tried to sell you a retirement program, right?
No, it seemed that he didn't know what I was talking about, but he did seem very interested.
Yeah, I talked to TD Bank yesterday, just on a chance that I had heard they might be exchanging already, and a friend and I called 4 different banks in the Northeast corridor. Nobody knew what we were talking about.
No.
So
well, I'm going to go on your assurance and just wait for this to all come down, and then they're going to want our money for sure.
Absolutely. And they're going to at least have a phone number that you could call within the bank. If they don't know the answer, somebody at TD Bank has the answers. We just gotta, we gotta do this step at a time. That's all there is to it. It's almost like we're parachuting out of a plane, and we don't really know what we're going to run into until we get on the ground. So we got to get on the ground and then look around and start making decisions. So, but I just want to say this over and over and over, because I know people are concerned. There's no reason to be concerned. There's reason to be intelligent, observant, proactive, all of those good things, but there's no reason to worry that they're out there to get you. They're not out there to get you. That seems to be the common consensus now among all of the folks who are talking directly to the banks, directly to the government, directly to all the agencies involved in this. Nobody's out to get us. They get that we're a reality. They get that we're a resource for them to make money off of. And in order to do that, they got to do the RV, and they got to give us the money so that we can start making decisions and spending it and investing it, et cetera.
Okay, thank you very much, Aiko. And I just want to say we enjoy listening to your shows. We look forward to it in our day. And we'll just wait for the tweet that says depends.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Wait for Jerry to start yelling depends.
Right on. Have a great evening, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Big Fish, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how are you today?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing super, super, super. And I'll be doing a whole lot better than that tomorrow when I come out of that bank.
Well, I like to hear that. That's good stuff.
Or better yet, even tonight. Yeah, I don't have any questions for you or anybody. I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been on this journey with me, and I've been on with them, and it's really been a wonderful experience getting to know everybody and talk to some people, and just passing information around and learning about all this that we've been involved in. I mean, when I first got involved in this 3 years ago, my gosh, I didn't know half as much as what I think I know now, And it's just been an incredible journey. It's been hard. No, there's no denying that. But I've met some really, really awesome, wonderful, good people on this journey. And if I had a chance to do it again, I would, just for the experience of meeting all you good people. And
thank you, Big Fish.
I met some really good friends, and a lot of them, I'll stay in touch with over the oncoming years, and hope to see you all at the bank.
Well, I tell you what.
And as Riley would say, on the other side of those zeros.
Absolutely. So give us the code word as you're signing off.
Depends, and there ain't no depending on it. We're going to the bank.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Hi, Atlanta, 770. Come on down.
That me, Jerry?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? And thank you so much for your call. Actually, I went to the backyard with the dogs, and I didn't have my list in front of me, but everybody's been talking about going to the banks, but we've only been talking about going to one bank. Are we not suggesting that if we got big bucks that we shouldn't be diversifying and going to maybe 5, 10 different banks?
Start at one and diversify from there. That's what
I
your
guess that's a big
financial
question. How are we going to know which one to go to first?
Well, I would start with Wells Fargo. They're the ones that have taken the time to set this up. HSBC, owned by the Chinese, have bought total control of Wells Fargo. They're not our enemy, they're our friends, and they're the ones that have helped straighten out the darkness that we are in, bringing us back into the light. So start there. Talk with your financial advisors, your wealth manager, your teams of whoever you have, and diversify from there. One of the questions they asked me, what bank do you not want to deal with? And I just said, I don't want to deal with the blue bank.
Okay, so we're going to go in and deal with one bank and then diversify after the initial exchange then.
Correct.
Okay. Y'all been a great help. Appreciate it. You got great people. And this is the first time I ever called you, but thank you for taking my call, and have a blessed evening and life.
And thank thank you for your questions. It helps out everybody. So
okay. Thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome. Port Lucie, Florida. 772. Come on down.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Jerry, I've got a question. Can you hear? This is about the non-interest-bearing accounts versus the interest-bearing accounts. There was information recently passed out through maybe this call and a couple of other calls that through some legislation that was passed, that now interest-bearing accounts in all the banks in the U.S. allow the bank to essentially own the deposits of their depositors, but not if they're non-interest-bearing. Do you have any information about that? Have you heard that?
I have no comment, and I'm trying to stay away from that question. I hope you understand, because I don't want to make any influence anybody any one direction or other. That could have some serious consequences. So
yes.
That's why I'm trying to stay away from it.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm just telling you, it was discussed on either. I don't know whether it was the WINGIT call or the SOM call or what other call that I was on, but I go on several calls, and that particular subject is in play. Thank you for your response.
You're welcome. So here we go. How to get the tweets. First off, you can go to the wingitcall.com, and if you scroll down, it will give you instructions on how to get tweets from me. And if you're in Canada, and only Canada, you put in 21212 instead of 40404. That's a U.S. code. Overseas, I'm not sure what that code would be. So if you want to follow on tweets in the U.S., it's go to a new text, open it up, put in the recipient 40404. Down in the body, put follow, space, the @ WINGIT call. Hit the send button. You should automatically get a response back that you're now following the WINGIT call. Again, that's, if you're in country, 40404. Down in the body, put follow with a space @ WINGIT call. Hit the send button. Okay, on to our next caller. Sarasota, Florida, 941. Come on down. Oh, hold on. My beautiful bride came home, so I kind of want to wrap this call up in the next 5-10 minutes. We get to have some me time. So here we go. 2 callers, and then we're going to wrap it up. Sarasota, Florida, 941. Come on down. Yes, sir, you're flickering, or ma'am. Sarasota, Florida, 941. Hello? Okay. Charleston, South Carolina, 843. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Jerry, this is Richard.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm the one who sent you that NAFA thing, and when I sent that, you gave me the email, which started with the V, and I sent it to you twice. And what happened was I didn't get any confirmation that you received it. I don't think you were that kind of person. But when I emailed back and said I didn't get any confirmation, the lady name start with the V, respond but with an email saying, well, thank you. And then later on, about a week later, I read that Ms. V wasn't there no longer. So now that you got your own...
Are you trying to email me, or what are you trying to do?
That's when you've been on the other side, Jerry, before you separated.
I can't help that. My apologies. You've got the current
Yeah. I thought it was coming directly to you when I sent it. But it's the information I was talking to you about that I share about the NAFA. NAFA have a form for any citizen to use as an interview with tax attorney, wealth manager, financial advisors, financial counselors. And that interview, the 26 questions, and that's what I sent to you. But you never got it. But I can send it to you now and have to wing it.
Yes, sir. If you would.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. I can do that. The other thing I'd like to share with you, Iko and Art, and everybody else on the call, I was one of the ones that got the appointment to go in early to exchange. And during that exchange, and I'll try to speak in parable with understanding. I don't want to put anything out there in jeopardy. They actually was offering sucker rates. Now, they did tell me that they had contract rate. Now, in order for you to be qualified, and I think that criteria still stands today, for the contract rate, you would have to exchange your exchange first 100,000 in exchange would qualify you for a contract rate. Well, at that time, they was offering for my appointment, they was offering $65 for $1 million.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then to add something that everybody could remember to put into action once they do the exchange, make sure you tell the exchange person that you want a I think it's called a non-free account. You don't want your account to be seen by tellers. So that way when you go in, if you ever have to go into the bank to do any kind of transaction, you will speak to a branch manager, assistant, or a loan officer. You would never have to get in line and walk up to the teller. Because when have it,
right. That's the
where you have it
free
from viewing, then they have to have a code on it, and only those people, the loan officer, managers, and assistant, they would be the one to access that code.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Well, thank you very much for your information, sir.
Yeah, and the other thing I'd like to add is Jerry, Iko, Art, and Phil, and everybody else who comes on this call and other calls that you have. I've been in this investment 11 years. Y'all giving people education, and to be smart about it. Everything y'all telling them, suggesting to them to do, if they don't do it, then they screw themselves, because it's very basic and simple. And if they don't negotiate, then they set themselves up to fail.
Thank you, sir.
Just remember, I've been in an early appointment, and I had to do a little negotiate, and I did.
Thank you, sir. If you're getting a little long-winded, my apologies, but my sweetie requires a little me time. So I guess with that, we're going to wrap it up. Want to thank everybody for making this call. Hope you got enough information. I'm kind of distracted right now because my baby loves me. So let me end the recording. Recording is stopped. Y'all have a good day. We shall chat later.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye. Welcome to the conference. Please enter the conference ID, followed by the pound key. Thank you. Guest ID accepted.